got to do something, yeah, to save the children. Soon it will be their turns to try and save the world.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is episode 23.
23, man.
Deuce Trey.
Prime
23.
time. But welcome back, everybody. This is your host, it's Marco, and I'm with.
It's your boy M Easy.
It's your girl, Miss Nessa, a.k.a. Blaze Your Mommy.
And we got our boy Kmart in the background. And man, let's dive straight into it, man. A lot of shit has been going on in the past 48 hours or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of police brutality, a lot of anger, a lot of confusion, frustration, sadness, just a lot of despair going on right now in this country. And first of all, I just wanted to say, I want to send my condolences out to all the families and lives that's lost within all this tragedy. From, man, it's really tough, man. From the families to friends, loved ones. I mean, honestly, before even the show began, when I saw M Easy, when I saw Nessa, when I saw Shaady, when I saw Kmart, you know, I wanted to give him a hug and say, I'm glad that you made it. You know, I'm glad that you guys are here. Because, honestly, for me, I got choked up yesterday. I was in tears thinking about, you know, every time I take a step out of the door and I get in my car, it could be my last time. You know, I get scared to death when I'm followed by a police now. You know, I don't feel safe, you know, but not, like they said, the narrative is not all cops are bad. Not all black people are thugs. Not all white people are white supremacists.
This is true.
You know what I mean? Not all Italians are mobsters. Or not, you know what I mean?
All the stereotypes.
All the stereotypes. And it's just, man, just take it away, man. I just need to gather my thoughts. Anyone else want to go ahead? I mean, I know Shaady, he's usually behind the boards, but I know he has his 2 cents to say here and there a little bit.
Well, let y'all speak, bro. Go ahead.
I just want to, send prayers out to anybody that's dealt with any type of violence in this fashion, like black, white, Hispanic, so on and so forth. It's like, you know, it's just, it's pretty messed up that, you know, that we're the ones that's seeing all this in the media and everybody's reacting the way they are. It's like, I'm watching everybody, but nobody's really like looking into the situation. They're just reacting.
So you think it's sensationalism instead of journalism going on? You think a lot of people are just finding ways to create clickbait and shock value more than actual getting into the essence and grassroots and doing research on these stories to make a compelling and powerful, you know, article with facts. You know what I mean? Like, I understand as a black man when I saw Alton Sterling getting shot like that and hurt, and just like literally afterwards thinking about Alton Sterling, and then you get the other guy from Minnesota. Let me make sure I pronounce his name correctly. Blondo Cassio. That happened like within hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then now Dallas is going on.
Now it's the police getting shot. And you know what? I said this right after the Alton Sterling. I'm like, look, man, it's too many things on the internet about us black people getting shot by the police. Somebody's gonna eventually say, you know what, F that, I'm gonna go shoot the police. And here we are.
Yeah, and you know, and this is not anything against, you know, other races or white people in general. It's just that we want to share our feelings and thoughts and differences of opinions, because everyone here probably has their own personal experience with law enforcement and racism. But for the white people who gets it and understand it, this does not apply to you. If you understand and get it, perfect. But for the ones who are still on the fence, the ones who just completely are clueless about the fact that white privilege is real,
the ones who refuse to find out or do any type of like understanding, like if you don't even want to learn what's going on or try to find out, like, and you know,
in the words of Jesse Williams, sit down.
Well, that also goes to everybody, man. It's
I
just
was about to say that.
And that's the problem. We're always separating. Well, if they're not. Well, you ain't either. Let's be totally honest. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah. In general, it's like a lot of us aren't trying to find out facts. We will learn the half truth of something and then say we are so awake by learning this half truth. And like you just about as knocked out as the person who just had a ridiculous night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're asleep, and that's a problem. We're not looking at the bigger picture, which is hate amongst everyone, not just one. That can't. If we're saying there's just this one, then when we go outside and we see hoods still exist, gangsters still exist, all this other stuff exists, but we're saying it's just this one, and then we're blaming it on the other. But it's not. Look at yourself.
Yeah.
We're lacking in that department, man. We're lacking in the department of, man, let me figure out why this is happening. We're always saying that well, the media doesn't show. And then all of a sudden, the media is just showing too much. I don't that and no one ever stops and says that that doesn't seem like a problem to anyone. That it's almost like someone probably even beyond our even understanding is saying, I'm going to rile you guys up because I want to take your focus off of love, and I want everyone to hate each other. I want everyone to hate each other, and I want everyone to go to eliminate each other. Nobody ever but see.
So it's like a divide and conquer type of mentality.
It's
pitting people against each other.
It's like hitting the
do you
refresh.
see?
It's like hitting the refresh button on racism, dude. Like
right, exactly.
Everybody
think
back on it.
about the vocabulary that everybody is talking like now. Now, if let's say there's a white person sitting right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's you right here, right?
Yeah.
And you and he says and you know how we always talk, like people talking about, oh yeah, well those white people over there, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like it's okay. Oh, we can say that. But let that person say that. Let that person say, well, yeah, that's how they do. That's how black people do. You ready to jump down the store? Well, damn, you just did the same thing.
Yeah. It's
and then on top of that, what if they're telling the truth?
Yeah,
exactly.
How would you jump on them if they're telling you the truth?
If they're telling the truth.
Like if they say it to you, you'd be like, well, yeah. You can't be like, nah, you can't say that though. Yeah. Like, dude.
And I think that's where as a people we have to hold ourselves accountable and
exactly
learn how to do it. It's that fine balance of knowing where our history and know what fucked up shit that happened in the past, but yet we can't use that all the time against us. And I think the reason why I feel like I mentioned, I think a couple of episodes ago, why people who are pro-black kind of make white people feel uncomfortable is just the fact that it's synonymous with like Black Panther, more rebellion and like stick it to the man type of thing. But I think today's version, from my view, and I'm just speaking on my view, it's not fact. From my view, when people are pro-black, it's the fact that they're starting to love themselves. They're starting to realize their self-worth. And then also with just the whole things of getting beaten down, back in history, when back times when they said, well, niggas are only good for this, niggas are only good for that, niggas are only good for this, and then and you see shit perpetuated in the media with negative stereotypes. You see niggas getting arrested, you see niggas getting beat up, you see this, and you just think in your head like, God damn, is this my future?
Right.
And you think about that, and to the point when motherfuckers are starting to wake up and realize their self-worth. They realize, I mean, I'm not going to go as far as like, you know, it's like, oh man, we were descendants of kings and queens. I don't know that. I can't prove that.
You know what
I'm saying?
This is the dope part about you knowing that you are a king and a queen. It has nothing to do with your race.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with your race at all. And once we realize that, people never want to go to that because you know, they feel like, well, if I go there, then I'm they want to talk about how something was given to, let's go back to, you know, people talk about the slavery type of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So when somebody goes to like myself, because I stand on the word of God, I stand firm on the word of God because I know it's 100% truth from start to finish.
Amen.
There is no contradiction in the word of God at all. You can try. People have tried to discredit this one book. People have tried. All these other different books have taken from this book and tried to make it their own and made it a contradiction against this one. That's is a problem. That's where now we're dealing with truth here. Now, when people try to talk about, you know, let's say the white man took the Bible and gave the slaves, American slavery, gave the slaves this Jesus. Well, how is that? How is it? If that is the case, why would these same slaves go off whenever they got off or doing whatever they were doing? They went to their sheds and still prayed to the same God that is supposed to be oppressing them. That makes no sense. Why would you praise this God? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe because before they got here, they already knew about this true and living God that was saving lives.
And on top of that, like, when people bring that up, I ask them, like, so, you know, these group of white people that presented this to them, you know, do you feel like they did it in a way to control them? Because if that's the case, why even have the whips? Why even have the bullying of it? You know, because it's like from an individual standpoint, those white people were probably trying to help them.
No. Because they knew the power of the God. They knew the power of God. They knew the power that the book entailed. And if they can get these people to just do whatever and think that this is what God is telling them, when they already knew, like, this can't be God. We know what this word of God is. Yeah, they perverted it. They definitely perverted the word. But you know who also perverted the word of God? Black people also perverted the word of God. That still does not mean. So when that happens and people try to say that this isn't true, it's like, wait a minute. Well, just because that person said it, do you think that's what it means? Why don't you go and figure out the truth of who God is, his authenticity? Look at the different circumstances that's going. Me, myself, people always talk about, well, I can't believe in God because of circumstances. Well, it's like, well, because of my circumstances, there's no way that I can deny him. You feel what I'm saying? We have to figure out a truth. Now, let's talk about, you know, we talk about the whole police brutality thing or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone murder. I don't condone
9 for 9 makes the world blind.
It's ridiculous. Right?
Yeah.
But tell me, but it's like this. And people may think whatever. What makes you above the law? Look, let's say me and you are let's say slap boxing or something like that, right?
Yeah.
If we're slap boxing and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm done. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? All right, stop.
Mm-hmm.
And you still, and then I'm like, yo, stop. For real. And you still going, my hand is now becoming a fist and I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. Stop. People don't want to see that part. Or it could be as bright as day. As bright as day. Bruh, can you stop? Just Okay, all right, cool. Boom. Let me cooperate, please. Let me cooperate so that nothing goes further. Let me not give them reason to do anything more than.
But that's
And
that's the story with Blondo Cassio. He actually complied.
Again,
He did everything humanly possible.
And
wait a
to
minute.
comply.
I will speak from a personal experience. I'm not a dude that's gonna go against the police. You know, like my pops. You know, he raised me to be like, dude, don't be dummy.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
where it starts.
So, you know, like you said, from their standpoint, stop. But from mine, I can't ball my fist up. So if I'm getting hemmed up, I'm like, yo, like, I'm not doing nothing. Be still. I'm like, I am. And, you know, there's still a knee in my neck, and it's going deeper and deeper. I can't do nothing. And, you know, it's like,
It's
man,
crazy.
Now,
I
I'm not
don't know
saying,
what to say to
now,
that.
now
you know?
my thing is I'm not saying that there aren't, you know what I mean? There
Yeah.
are some that are just like super triv, but at the same time, you still have to take accountability to yourself and say, you know what? I will make myself damn near dead. Yeah. All right. You got,
Yeah.
So that there won't be, you know what I'm saying? And then like you talk about,
Yeah.
what's the Fernando, the guy that got shot in the,
Blondo Cassio. Though here's what we know so far. He complied. Well, when they got pulled over for a busted taillight,
Yeah.
the police officer asked him for, license and registration. Beforehand, in the open carry state in Minnesota, he said, I am carrying a firearm. I am reaching for my wallet to show you my ID and registration. Once he did that, he got shot 5 times in his arm. And that's when his girlfriend, Diamond, started to record the video on Facebook Live.
all right.
That's when you saw him bleeding to death right before our very eyes.
Right. So
Breathing his last
when we
breath.
how do we know that part? You know what I'm saying? That's
I
what
mean,
happened.
but
Is that what
that's
the girl said?
That's what we know.
That's what
That's what the information is presented to us.
the information that was given to us by someone who just See, that's the thing. We still don't even know if that were the case, because that person is saying that. That's one thing that we don't possess the all-knowing.
This is the truth that burns right here.
This is the part that hurts, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Because we don't possess all-knowing. We don't possess that. We don't. So how? Even with that information, that is one fact that we all know, that we're not all-knowing, and we don't know what's going on. We don't know, but we do know that there is one. We do know that there is one that is all-knowing. We also know this, that there has been a moment that we have done something. Matter of fact, that we have done something that nobody else knows about. But so there's something that other people don't know about, but yet there is, the very God that does know that we've done it. And we've constantly asked for forgiveness of that, and he has. You know what I'm saying? Now get this. He doesn't even, because if he was the judges for every little thing that we've done, bruh, this world would be no more. That's why we have grace. And that's why he came down and he sent, you know what I'm saying? He did all of that for us. Now, so who are we to say? We don't know what's going on in that person's mind. We don't know what's going on in the mind of the dude that was in the chair. We don't know what's going on in the mind of the chick. For all we know, she could be definitely against cops. We don't know, and I'm not saying that she is, but that's one thing that we got to take into consideration too. Yeah, we also got to take into consideration that maybe this cop was a bad cop, but we don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can't say that he was fearful for his life. So everybody's talking about, why are you so afraid of me? That person wasn't. We don't know if he was. They
described the officer as a 5'5", 5'6" Chinese officer.
Yeah, Asian man.
Asian man.
And you can hear him in the video. He sounds like he's upset that he had to shoot.
That he had to do that. So obvious there was something else. He's saying, I kept telling him to do what? Just put your hands up. I know I heard it. That's the thing, man. We don't know. So we can't automatically say you're wrong. Because if that's the case, then we have to look at everything that we've ever done and say that we are definitely wrong and we deserve death. We deserve death. because we're just as guilty. No matter what it is that we've done. No matter what it is that we've done. Because you may look at it, well, it's not murder. Well, and it's not this, it's not that. No, it's the same playing field. Because we are putting ourselves in the place of the what? Judge.
Yeah.
And it hurts because we don't know. But there is, like I said, there is one that is. And go ahead, I'm sorry.
But I just want to I know that you want to, you coming from a spiritual realm. I think
I'm coming from a 100% realm.
Yeah. I mean, spiritual 100%.
And what I mean by 100%, I mean, this is truth of the matter. Without, and that's the thing. See, I don't want you to mix it up and thinking, oh, you're just coming from it. No, I'm coming from a place where, look, I'm living in this. I'm living here with you. I see this going on. I have to have a different mindset. I can't get angry over that because I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let me break it down. Like, say Shaady watched the video, right? From what I'm hearing, Shaady was like, I can't tell, if this is true because what's going on, what exactly whose fault because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy that took the bullets. I'm not the guy that shot. The dude that did the shooting sound like, he was forced to shoot him. Who knows? Because the guy that's in the car, all we see is him just, leaning after he got shot.
Yeah.
How do we know he wasn't being aggressive or resistant? Because his girl's just backing him up on the video. Maybe she's, just taking his side and saying, oh, he was, real compliant and wasn't going against the guy, but who we don't know that.
And we're always talking about facts, right?
Yeah.
We're always trying to find out facts. Well, that is a number one fact right there.
Yeah.
But if we get emotional and crazy off of that, then we have the situation where what's going on right now in Dallas.
Yeah, everybody, their fact is police shot a black man. That's it.
That's
ain't trying
it.
to hear nothing else.
And that's all we want to give it to because we have this thing inside of us that says they're just doing this. And it's that we don't know that.
But the crazy thing about it, what drew it to this point, from the way I see it, it was just the crooked judicial system. The system is totally fucked. Because now you have police going around shooting people with no regard, maybe little, and getting paid leave, and go on about their lives. They get to go back home to their families.
I've seen two types of policemen.
The people who got shot and killed, they ain't going back home to their family. They're going 6 feet under.
They're not.
They're not coming back.
They're not.
But that cop is. That cop has.
That
cop has a glorified vacation.
A physical shell.
He's pretty much.
No.
He's pretty much. But he's pretty much on a month
Buffy.
vacation. He's on a month vacation, and he could go back to his family and wipe his hands clean. And that's a sad thing about it because that's the thing about it because as Jesse Williams said in his speech on BET, everything that he said on his speech that them stupid motherfuckers who made that dumbass petition who wanted him fired, everything he said on his speech, he's vindicated right now. Unfortunately, that's not the type of vindication that he wanted, but nonetheless, it happened. And there was the quote he said, "We know that the police somehow managed to de-escalate, disarm, and not to kill white people every day." It's been proven here in San Diego when the white dude had a gun out there in Mission Beach. They pleaded, they dealt to the point they like, dude, we just had to give him, and they only shot him like once. One shot, boom.
He got shot though.
He got shot though. But the thing was, it's not at the magnitude of Sean Bell. It wasn't the magnitude of the past two people who've been shot. They got shot multiple times. They shot him once. You know what I mean? I mean, a spade's a spade. He got shot, but the intensity.
Yeah, it wasn't as
vile. It wasn't vile because if it was either one of us, bruh,
we don't know that. There you go. You can't say that. If had it been one of us, well, we would have been like, wait a minute, I don't know.
We could look at.
You mean as far as if we had a gun or whatever?
Yeah, if we had a gun in our hand right now, waving in the middle of the park, bruh, we're getting riddled with bullets.
You think we're getting?
We're getting riddled. Like this. I don't think.
You know what? I feel like because I'm not gonna say every cop is gonna do that.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the line that we really need to come to grips with. We're angry.
Yeah.
We are very much angry. We are very much confused. We are very feeling like we are very emotional right now. But that does not make it true. That does not make us right. That makes us emotional. That makes us, oh, this is what's going to happen. It's like, nah. So, I don't think that act,
I would probably say it wasn't necessarily a truth. It's just the pessimism that I have in law enforcement right now. It's the pessimism that when I go out there and I see them, I'm like, these motherfuckers are out to get me. Even though that may not be the truth at all, but it is my perception. When I step outside, I'm thinking in a pessimism way. I'm like, shit, do I have my license ready? Do I have this and have that? But, I mean, yes, as a black man, we all are going to get pulled over. It's going to happen. It's just going to happen. But as for me, from my experience, no, I haven't been brutalized or beaten or down. But I have been to the point that I don't give these cops the satisfaction to even entertain the thought. Because I am compliant to the point it pisses them off. That the point that they just have to give me the ticket and let me the fuck go.
Yeah, because you would think like some cops would be out there frustrated and they want to take their anger out on somebody, so they waiting for somebody to do something. Go ahead, just do something to push me. Go ahead.
And they will say little slick shit at the end. Well, thank you for cooperating, in a very condescending way for me to try to jump out and say.
Or if you legit, they'll find a petty reason to give you a ticket.
Oh, I mean, I'd rather have that ticket any day. Give me the ticket. Hashtag give me the fucking ticket. Straight up. Because I know I could go back home. I could go hit up Mr. Ticket out there in Hillcrest.
Right.
Who's a very damn good traffic lawyer. And he got me out some shit. Killing knows.
Hey,
but you know what the dope part about that is? The dope part about that is, I believe you know how to conduct yourself to where nothing's going to...
Because the thing, I armed myself mentally. And I armed myself mentally before I even go out there. I know what the fuck I'm facing every day. I see the negatives. I see the positive. I come out. I am a positive person. I am trying to be positive, but I am human.
Yes.
So therefore,
you are definitely human, and you definitely know right from wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and I want to say this though,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
You know how you said like we have to be accountable for ourselves.
Yeah.
Black people, yes. You know, well, anybody in general, but you know, since we're on the subject, black people, yes, we have to be accountable for ourselves. At the same time,
they have to too.
Exactly. The police have to be accountable for their stuff too. Because I watched a Hot 97 interview.
Mm-hmm. It was Rosenberg.
It was Rosenberg talking to a actual police officer on the phone, and the police officer would never. He didn't admit to anything to like that does kind of look bad. Yeah. It's like, dude, I'm not saying Rosenberg was like, I'm not saying that it's bad because we don't know what's going on.
Right.
But does it look bad? He couldn't say it. The cop couldn't even say it.
Because it's that blue wall. It's that blue wall. It like even good, bad, indifferent cops, it's still a fraternity. Mm-hmm. They're still gonna watch out for each other. Mm-hmm. So when people try to say where are the good cops at, you know what I mean? Until I see a cop, only saw one video when one cop stood up for the citizens against other cops, mm-hmm. and I give that man kudos. But until more cops,
that black woman too.
Until more cops step out and call bullshit on these other cops, then that's when we can start to see the separation between good and bad cops. But if you just a cop who like, your partner throws a stone, hide the hand, and you're the one who say that he didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you guys have that brotherhood code, but what does that do with the community and how the community can trust police?
Yeah.
It's all fucked up. You know what I mean? You got these people who maybe felt some type of way about minorities, who maybe wanted to go to a neighborhood and throw their authority on certain people that they haven't even met or even talked to on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are people who have probably been sheltered, who want to be on some tough guy shit. They get a badge and they go out there and do what they do. But I don't know what it's like to wear that badge, as they said in the beginning, before the show even starts. Because I don't know what it's like to work 12 hours and motherfuckers hating you for 12 hours out of your shift. You know what I mean? And then
they still have to put they
put their lives on the line as well.
And it's like, dude, because they are thinking about also going home. And there's some like today. Now they won't be able to go home because of someone taking out frustration because of emotion and not really looking at the truth. And that could be, what the crazy part about that is, dude. There's people that probably look like us.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
That probably don't give a damn about nobody, and is doing things just to stir up stuff. See,
Oh, they out there.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like people getting on the internet saying these things, people making up pictures to stir up things, bruh.
I wanted to say that too. When you were saying like your depiction of how people are protesting on the media and stuff,
Yeah.
and you said like it's not, you don't feel like it's the same as it was before. I feel like, there's, I see the ones that are making their protests, and speaking their mind and stuff, but I also see the ones that are turning it into a hate thing,
To a war.
like they're literally like looking at white people.
It just
and putting
sucks
against
because
them.
it's, because it's
There's
kind of like
there's a white versus black thing.
yeah, but
like,
it kind of comes back to the laws of attraction. You know what I mean? You got dudes like Dylan Roof who can go into a church and shoot up 9 innocent people for the fact that they were black. So what makes you think that someone from the hood is going to have some animosity towards white people and retaliate? Because I think racism is a reactionary thing. I think people could be cool with each other because racism is taught. So I think people could be cool with each other. Like you could go to like a kindergarten class. You could put like a Mexican kid, a white kid, an Asian kid, a black kid in the room, and they might be cool. But when they go to their respective homes, their parents might tell them some shit like, don't do this, don't do that, don't be around this person. And when they come back to school, they're fighting. Why in the fuck that every single time, every middle school experience, every elementary school experience, every high school experience, we have black versus Mexicans? That is, and I never participate in that. And I for one think it was the dumbest shit that people have ever done when they do the black versus Mexicans. You know why? Because we're both in the hood. We're both disenfranchised people. So why in the fuck are we turning against each other and fighting?
I'll take you another step further. I got white friends that was in the hood.
There
Me
you
too.
have it. And you have white friends in the hood?
And they grew up like the same way we did.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a culture. Like
Yeah.
remember like, man, a couple episodes back
Yeah.
I said culture has no color.
Yeah.
Like I guess people didn't get that part, but I'm saying it, again.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Culture doesn't have a color. Like you can be any color and grow up in the same oppression, so on and so forth. But I get what you're saying. Like within the home, the parents, their culture is not of just,
Yeah.
that same thing
Of the outside, yeah.
that those two kids
Because
meet
when in
in
the
school.
compounds of their home, they have to obey their parents.
Yeah. And their culture could be totally different from what they do outside those doors. Like those two kids could be having so much in common, but as soon as they go into those houses, they're like international cultures
they're
and
all
stuff. And,
stem-
and,
all
they're, and
stem
they're all
from a-
like they're all like against other cultures, like or other colors. Let me say that. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Dude, it's retarded.
But do you guys feel some type of way when you see like, I mean, we could go on the little subject on about cultural appropriation. How do you feel when people love black culture but they don't really care or give two damn
Or
shits
understand.
or don't understand about black struggle? You know what I mean? They love to do the whip and the nay-nay. They love to get them Air Jordans. They love to watch all them hood movies. But when it comes to dealing with that struggle, they ain't with the shits.
Like they get all offended. Like
They get all offended.
oh,
or like
why y'all
sometimes
keep making those comments, man?
or
We're sick of that.
sometimes like, I went to Morris High School. 45% was like Filipinos. You know what I mean? So I will see those Filipino. I'll see the mestiza women who are white and Filipino looking like straight light-skinned black girls. I will see some of the Filipino women looking like straight light-skinned black women.
And when they drop the N-bomb.
And dropping hella N-bombs and all that shit. But when it comes to some real nigga shit, they don't want it.
Crickets.
Crickets. You know what I mean? Or they're so comfortable within their own group and they don't want to reach out and talk to other black people, but they admire. Like, you can ask them, who's your favorite athlete? Kobe Bryant. Who's your favorite actor? Oh, this person. Who's your favorite model? Oh, that person. But you can't say what's up to the homie Tyrone down there.
But wait a minute.
By the barbecues. You
But
know
it
what I mean?
has, but like you're saying that they can't. But what if they want to? And because of our let's say the black person's mindset, they won't. They're look already automatically prejudging them and saying that they're trying to do certain. They want to be like, yo, this I like this. I love you.
Yeah.
But because of I'm not saying but because of the mindset of the person, let's say the black person is just like, oh, they're trying to be like. It's like, why don't you embrace them and see what it is?
Yeah.
How about you take off your anger?
Yeah.
or struggle, which struggle I'm trying to still figure out which struggle that everybody that lived in our, generation went through. I'm sorry. I don't know what struggle that is. I lived in Bay Vista Apartments.
Okay.
Grew up in Lincoln Park. Then moved to National City. Mexicans and Filipinos, right?
Yeah.
And then somehow, some way, I now live like close to downtown, but every arena, like, 'cause I'm a drummer, every arena that I've ever played in, every person that I've, you know what I'm saying, I've played for some ridiculous people, right? Ridiculous meaning you would have never thought, right? And it seems as though, and not seem, I've been accepted more from the people that don't look like me than the people that do. And it's not because they're looking at me like, oh, maybe we should.
I mean, but why is that? Why do we sometimes get acceptance from people outside of our culture but we get accepted more? I think that's what happens with me. Like, the reason why at a time, growing up, I wasn't black enough. Because I like
ridiculous.
comics. I like comics. I liked a whole bunch of nerd shit. You know what I mean? I wasn't black enough. I wasn't listening to hip hop at the time. I was listening to Limp Bizkit, Korn, Papa Roach, all that shit.
Which definitely kills the whole culture thing.
Yeah.
How can we say somebody is trying to be something else when really it's, it's what they love. It's what they like.
Yeah.
It's them. Why are we putting a cap on saying that, oh, this is only for, that's a lie. Again, that is a lie. You don't know what this person likes. You don't know what this person did. You don't know what how this person grew up or anything. You don't know. That is a lie.
It seems like there's unwritten rules that certain cultures are putting barriers on things to let people
Where
say,
does that come from?
I mean,
lies.
It's hard to.
And the truth of the matter is, the truth of the matter is, we're all human beings. We're all human beings that are going to pick certain things that they're going to love. The key word here is still love. There's this thing, the big picture here. Like, if you look at racism, you look at all these different things, the big picture is this: hate. And that hate stems from something even bigger than that. And that happened in the beginning of time when we decided to and it always goes back to that. Yeah. It always goes back to our disobedience to God. Sin was created. Sin was created because of our disobedience. And then hate entered the world. Hate. What trumps hate?
Love.
And not self-gratificating love.
Nah, selfless love.
If we are constantly trying to say, hey, I love you, homie, so that I can get a gratificating, oh, I love you too, to make myself feel good, then that's not true. That's not 100% love. 100% love is like, homie, I love you just because. Hey,
not
remember when old boy was sitting in here? I can't. What's
Dan, aka Jamal.
Remember, I kept saying, bro, I love you to death.
Shout outs to them.
I shouldn't.
Mighty Mouse 18.
Because of the way that I look. Because of the way that, especially what society is saying, I should not say that I love you genuinely. I should say it just to try to make you fit in. No, it's a genuine love. Where does that genuine love stem from? It stems from the very God who said, I love you enough that I would die for you. I would die for every single person in this world. That's where it stems from. Love is literally the answer. And if we don't get that together, we will constantly be in our emotions and looking at these half-truths and believing lies and saying that we're woke. And then we won't even know how to teach these kids. We will say, oh, be fearful for... Man, God is protecting you. God is protecting you. Here's the morals of the story. Look, conduct yourself in a manner. When you walk out this door, it knows who you are. Knows who you are. There's people disrespecting their mother right now because they've turned their back on the truth. There's people that are willing to say, man, screw. There's a dude that killed his own mom for money. People always say money is the root of all evil. Now they try to take that Bible verse out of context. It's the love of money. You're loving these things that hold no weight. It's temporary.
Yeah, that's not even love. That's lust.
That's ridiculous. But do you see how that envy, all these different things, man, people, you may think, I keep going back to this because it is literally in the Word of God, and people don't think that the Word of God is 100%, but you can go from the beginning to the end, and it all lines up.
Yep.
There is no flaw in it. There's a true and living God. There is a true and living God that loves the hell out of all of us because he came to this earth. He demoted himself, put on flesh. He's God. He's almighty. He's all powerful. Why would he have to put on flesh? Oh, let me save this person, that police officer that pulled the trigger, that dude that ended up dying. Matter of fact, that dude that raped that chick, that gangster that killed that other black dude, the white dude that hung the black dude, the black dude that killed that white dude. I died for them too. I put on flesh to die for them too. And when I died, I took all of the sins of the world. That's why there's the judgment of it. We don't own judgment, y'all. We don't. He died and then rose up for that hope. When he rose up, matter of fact, he demoted him. This is God demoting himself twice, putting on flesh, that's once, twice, dying and then going to hell. And then raising up from the dead to have all power in his hands so that the hope that we can live in and say, you know what? I can do it. I can live. I can go. I will live. I am protected. I can live I can walk with my head held high and be assured that there's a love that is unconditional. Because my bullshit was looked at as in God's eyes and said, you know what? I died for that. And you know what? Because I died for you, I can't judge you. I won't judge you because I see God in you. But that only comes when we understand that true love. And once that true love is understood, then our hearts turn to change. Our hearts start to change. People think that, we think that we know. We think that we're, oh, yeah, I love you. I'm good. You're not just good. Because in a minute, if I stepped on your shoes and you just had them new Jordan, you will cuss me all the way out. There's something else there that needs to be turned. For real turned. There's a real love that we need to experience. And that real love only comes from accepting who this true and living God is. Then we will be able to see, oh my gosh, just as real as God is, Satan is definitely real. And all he's doing is he's using us as puppets. Yeah, keep looking at that half bullshit. Yeah, keep looking at that half. Keep looking at that untruth. Keep going that way and saying it's all about that. Keep doing that. Take your focus off the true and living God, because I don't want you to believe in that. Why? Because I want you to die. I want you to die without believing in him, and I want you to live in eternity in hell and burn with me. And God, just how real Satan is. Matter of fact, fuck Satan for that. It's just how real God is, and he is saying, I'm here with my arms open. I want you. Everybody is trying to live up to us. Everybody is trying to live up to the standard of God. You can't. He's God. But God is saying, I want to make myself available to you. I love you. I want a relationship with you. Just try me. Try me. I love you. And then I will show you. Everything that you think you know, I will dead it. What is that saying? A wise man knows that he knows nothing at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only one that's true, the only one that knows everything is the very God. And if he knows, he wants to show us so that we can go outside and look at the next person and say, hey, bro, I love you. And there's no gratification. There's no reason why I need to say I'm not gaining anything from this. me with my dark skin, black skin. I seen a police officer today at a 7-Eleven, and it's me. It's like a gang of Mexicans, right? I go into the 7-Eleven and there's two cops there, right? And the Mexicans, I can look into their eyes and tell that they think I'm about to be on this. And I went straight to that cop. I said, bro, I don't know what's going on. This is what I said to him. I said, I don't know what's going on. I can't even fathom what you are feeling right now. There's a lot of people that are hurt because they don't understand what's going on. But you want to know something, bro? No matter what, I don't know you. I don't know your heart. I don't know where you're at. But, bruh, I love you. That's different. Because now their hearts are like, damn, that's what. Because I'm not that. I don't even know what's going on. And that melts everything. And that gives them assurance, that hope to say, I must be doing something right. Meaning, if they feel that because they feel the tension, they know that they can calm down and be like, look, not everybody is like that. Just like how you said, not everybody is thinking, but damn, I needed that. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know what's going to happen to me tomorrow. Just like I don't know what's going to happen to me tomorrow. Could be at the hands of sickness. Could be at the hands of whatever. I don't know. But I do know that I am protected by the true and living God. And we all have grace, because if there wasn't for his grace, man, we would be screwed. But I know I have that grace. And I know that I have that salvation. And when I leave, whatever happens, if he decides, if I walked out this door right now and I get hit by a car and I go and I die, man, Lord forbid. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe that he has work to do. But if it's in his will that he's ready to take me home, guess what? I'm going home to him, and I know I'm going to see him, and I'm going to ask him questions like, yo, you know. But the hope is that I know I'm going to glory. But the dope part about that, it goes back to this love thing, man. It goes back to the authenticity of the love that God wants you to understand, and the truth in his love.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
I just want to ask you, well, you say love is the answer.
Love is.
So within the black community, and I'm just speaking specifically for the black community, we have to learn to love each other. And loving each other is more than just lip service by saying loving you. We have to learn how to invest in each other. We have to stop trying to undercut each other when it comes to business practices. We have to start upholding a higher standard when we present our business practices. Because motherfuckers don't care. Black people are the highest consumers probably in the world, arguably. But our dollar, in a way, still holds no value because we're not putting the money back into the black community. And people could say it's cliche all they want, but it's truly evident that once... And the crazy thing about it, there are black billionaires out there. Not as much, but there are out there. And the crazy thing about it is that they don't probably want to risk anything into black enterprises. Like, I remember this one guy put on a video rant. He said, if Jay-Z, Oprah Winfrey, and probably like Floyd Mayweather, or all these rich people, or these athletes, or the NFL players will get together and buy land, something like Farrakhan would say, buy land. Therefore, we can have our own property, our own banks, our own businesses. You know what I mean? Like, right now, Angela Yee, I believe Styles P, Jadakiss, they own Jadakiss and Styles P owns a juice bar called Juices for Life out there in Yonkers. They invested money in trying to give the community a healthier outlet instead of just drinking malt liquor and eating a whole bunch of shit that's just going to destroy their bodies internally. So, I think they franchised it. Angela Yee and I believe DJ Envy and I think someone else, they didn't go to a bank. They fronted the money themselves. But they had to because they probably knew that these banks are not going to give them the loans that they deserve. And that's the thing, like, as you know what I'm saying, like, as a black community, I think we do really need synergy and work together and support each other. And I'm not trying to say it as lip service. I'm trying to take it as action. You know, as for you, studio time. As when I talk to Ashley for graphics. You know what I mean? Or like if I ever decide to contact Billy when I want to go out and train. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving his money or anything like that. We can't undercut each other because that's why black enterprises are not really going far. And when I say that, it's the power of the dollar, because that's the reason why Martin Luther King got shot. It wasn't the I Have a Dream speech, because the I Have a Dream speech was more like, okay, Martin, you're being a good little boy. Thank you. Be a good little boy. Don't stir up anything. But the moment he got tired of some BS going on, because he tried the love, he tried
Being peaceful.
the peacefulness, and people were still throwing hate his way, and to the point he didn't say, you know, F this, F that, but to the moment he's like, do you know what? Black folks, let's take our dollar elsewhere. When you see that white store over there, don't spend your money here. Go there. People listen. And that's the one thing that get people messed up. It's not even like it's the lust of money. The lust of money and power.
That's the love of it.
Either or.
I don't want
because
the only reason why I say that is because that's biblical, bro. We cannot see again. I just like how I said, like there's people that pervert the word. Don't ever, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that, because now you're putting in words. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's literally the love of money. If I love something enough, I'm going to do any and everything to get it.
For it.
It's the love of it, bro. So, you know,
I think lust comes in. It's a thin line between love and lust, thin line between love and hate.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you can, but look, check this out. Can't you love and lust a woman? Like, can't there be a difference in the same, like in a woman? Like, can't you lust a woman as well as love a woman? So would you be able to lust for money as well as love money? Because people can genuinely love money, like.
Yeah, either or, whatever context you take it as.
Yeah, because like if you lust for it, it might be for a different reason.
But that's the thing. Like once we threaten taking the black dollar away for certain businesses, that's when they get antsy. Mm-hmm. Why did you think that the incident in Tulsa, Oklahoma happened? The Black Wall Street. They bombed that shit because they didn't like the fact that black folks, even in the middle of segregation, were making their own money. They didn't like that shit. They didn't like the fact that when Martin said, hey, stop putting your money in these companies and start supporting their own, he got shot in Memphis.
They didn't like it, right?
They didn't like it.
Why? Due to
money,
hate,
power.
That's literally what it
because
is.
the thing is, because
if you look at it like that, if you also look at it like,
but Shaady, there's a quote saying that if I control the power, the source of the money, I do not care for its loss. I'm not quoting it for verbatim, but that's how it goes down. If you control the money, you make the laws regardless. Mm-hmm. It's not about power to the people. It's not about the elected officials, because those elected officials are puppets too. Why? Yeah. Because of money. Why do you think there's lobbyists for certain corporations that damage the environment? Why do you think there's lobbyists for shit that keep putting bullshit in out in the streets? From food to music to water to all this shit because of money. And I'm not saying, I mean, I don't have the answers, but I can just spark some kind of interest to the listeners to make them think like, wow. Yeah, money is kind of like the major issue, because let's say it like this.
Well, I'll say this, man. You don't think it was a genuine hate that somebody loaded a gun and shot Martin Luther King, even though it took that long for it to happen? Because if you look further back, you know, in the South and stuff, the white sheets running around hanging people for money.
It's genuine hate, bro, like I said.
But think about this. The same people in the white sheets, they're doing that physically, but those people who are wearing the white sheets are the same motherfuckers who putting up loans. They're the same motherfuckers holding the gavel in the courtroom. They're the same motherfuckers who have the damn badge when they're inside the cop car. So they're trying to control all assets of it. But the number one of controlling everything is through the money. Straight up. Like, there's no other way around it.
Yeah,
they could be cops, they could be judges, they could be this.
Yeah.
But if they're in the banks, if they're holding the money, if they could tell you, say, hey, M-Easy, nah, you can't get this loan for your small business. Nah, homie, you can't get this loan for your home. So you can, like, own property and learn how to invest.
Well, here's my thing.
It's a system. It really is a system.
In that case, there's no color to it then. Because
right.
if if they're really trying to fuck us over, then they would let us get that stuff and run our credit up because they know we can't afford certain things, you know, instead of like telling us no, you have to build your credit or you know, so on and so forth about the money. Like, I feel like there is a genuine hate behind that money. Like, not just them. It's not. I don't think it's just, you know, the number one thing is money. I think there's some haters out there, man. Like, for real.
And it's for,
Because
and
why?
it's-
Because they don't want to see you. They don't want to see you thrive. They don't want to see you eat in these streets. You know what I mean? They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see your kids grow into wealth.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Let's say all black people went broke. Everybody's a bum, right? And we had our own little what you call those where you walk through and there's tents everywhere. And black
The
people were
farmer's
happy.
market? Are you talking about the farmer's market?
No.
Like black people, every black person in America is destitute. Like they're homeless. They ain't got shit on their name except for like lint and nickels in their pockets.
And they're happy. Which, you know, this is in the perfect word.
Okay.
You don't think they would hate us for that? Why the fuck are they still happy?
And that's simple because they can't break our spirit.
So you don't think they'll still try to do something to break our spirit?
Oh, they're going to find other ways. They're always forever going to
that's
find
taking
other
away
ways.
the money.
Once the Emancipation Proclamation happened, once the abolishment of slavery, you think whiteys didn't have like second, third, fourth, fifth, a whole bunch of contingency plans to mentally enslave us and to make us feel like we ain't shit in this country?
well, again,
What do you
I'm
think? What do you
sorry.
think about the
It goes
industrial?
back. It goes back to. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can make me feel like I ain't shit. There's no way that.
That's great. That's
There's
great.
no
but
way.
That's what they're trying. That's what some people are trying to do. I'm not saying all people, but that's what they're trying to do, Shaady. They're
But
trying
when
to
do
make
you-
us
when
feel
do
that
you-
we're devalued.
When do you? How I'm? Do you feel devalued?
No, I do not because I choose not to let them. But how can I?
Now
But
here
the
we
thing
goes with
is,
the choice.
but this is why we had this podcast to each one teach one because there are someone who's probably listening right now who needs this help, who needs this. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not word, but this kind of message for them to realize that there are some self-worth out there and that they can do something right there because it is you know, like I hate to use this video game analogy, but this is my analogy in life when it comes to like kind of like video games. When you go to a stage, there's always going to be opposition in front of you. But if you're lost and you have nowhere to go, there's not going to be any opposition in front of you.
If you're lost and you said
Like if you lost in the game and you just weren't roaming around, you don't know where to go, there's not going to be any opposition in front of you.
But if
There's
you
not going to
have
be but
if
once
you
you
know
have
where
a
you're
purpose,
going,
you have a mission and you need to keep going, there's always going to be some opposition in front of you.
You want to know what's crazy about that? What you just said right now? That's literally the word of God.
yeah.
Bruh, do you see how there's movies, there's all these different things that explain the word of God. The word of God is
It's universal.
again, we're right here, right back to the word of God, bruh.
Hey man,
All right,
different
so-
routes,
so-
different routes,
nah,
same
man.
destination.
Look. So
I
will
like
you
that.
so will you stay lost? But you know you have purpose, right?
Yeah.
And that's with everyone in this world. We all have a purpose, and we all need to figure out our way. We're lost. How do we figure out the light? How do we where's the light at? Is it over here in that BS? That just led me into more hate. That just led me into more ridiculousness. That just led me to there is a straight and narrow. And once we figure that out, there's problems are going to happen.
Yeah, regardless.
That's just life. But who is the author of life? Who gave you life? Who has given us life? I'm just saying. I'm not asking you as a question. Like,
No, this is a very rhetorical
I'm just
question.
saying,
I got it. I
who's
get it.
given
Because I
us
was going to say
life?
my mom and my
Who's
dad.
constantly giving us that. But who gave them the life? Who gave them? That's what who gave life itself? Life itself. Someone created all of us. So obviously, if he created us, he's all knowing, then there has to be a place that we all have a purpose. Now we need to figure out how to get to and fro. We need to find that way. How can we find our own way when we didn't create this thing? there's something else. It always, you see, and I it's not by accident that I keep going back to this. I'm not even doing this on purpose, like just to be like, let me keep going back to. It all comes right back to the head, to the center of who should be in our lives, bruh. Sis, bro, homeboy in there. You want to know what's crazy about how all this is happening? You know what I'm saying? Probably, I don't know if I'm getting off subject or whatever, but when people talk about how, Jesus walked the earth, right? People talk about how Jesus walked the earth. Well, how did they know that he walked the earth? Because there was eyewitnesses that told about this very God and, very God walking the earth. Eyewitnesses upon eyewitnesses, just like this conversation right here. He may not be in here, but I bet you guys are all tweeting and, live streaming. That's literally how the word of God is written. These eyewitnesses upon eyewitnesses witnessed this very Jesus walking the earth, dying, and then coming back to life, saving the world. Eyewitnesses upon, that's so crazy. And I'm just now thinking about that. Like, how could I deny that? So if that's real, then why aren't we figuring out his truth first? Why aren't we figuring this out? Why? Is it because somebody else told us to not do it? Is it because somebody else told us to not do it who is indeed the same, either color or bleeds the same blood as us, but is telling me that there's a definitive, that's not true? Well, wait a minute. Whoa. You don't even know what's going on outside these walls right now. You can't even tell me what kind of bug is crawling on the floor. You can't even tell me what I'm thinking about. But you're going to sit here and tell me that you're going to give me a definitive answer that something isn't? I can't. That's why this world is so ridiculous and everywhere else. We always want to look at it as I don't know. The worst thing, like the dope thing about saying I don't know is it's like, I don't know. Then the next thing comes to your mind. Well, let's find out. Why don't we go that extra mile? Why? What are we afraid of? What are we afraid of? Are we afraid of now that our lifestyles might just change? But not for the worse. Not for the worse. Yeah. You know where true freedom comes from? Once we've truly, literally changed our hearts. True freedom comes from true repentance, forgiveness, and forgetfulness, man. I'm just being honest, man. Look, there's some stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, bruh, that I thought, as a teenager, that I thought that I would never forgive. Got older, didn't think it was, didn't think I was, it's whatever. But there's been a couple times before getting to a certain age, I would look at this person and just be like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And didn't realize that was growing inside of me like a cancer. Until I said, damn, you made a mistake just like I made a mistake when I probably had sex with this girl that, I knew I wasn't going to marry. That I knew I wasn't, And once I said, I have to forgive you. And literally throw it out. Throw it out of because when I see you, I'm not going to hold anything against you. Why? Because God doesn't hold anything against me. Every night we go to sleep and we pray to God, I want to be more and more like you. Forgive me for all of my bullshit. Who are we not to forgive this next person? That's where true freedom comes from. And that's when we can start to be like, damn, I can't look at you like this is Trev. I can't look at you like you're Trev. Or I can't judge you on the bullshit that you did because I know but now let me walk you through this. Let me let you know, hey man, look, that ain't cool. This ain't the way. That's Trev. And that all comes from finding out the truth. Finding out. If we constantly say we don't know, we can't just throw it out because the truth has been presented. If somebody tells you something, you're definitely. Hey, Schoolboy just came out with an album. Schoolboy just came out with the album, and it's fire. Oh, for real? You definitely will go and listen to that to see if it's fire for yourself. Correct?
Yeah.
Why can't we do that with this? Same way with everything that's going on in society, not just the word of God,
Because
bro.
unfortunately, lies sometimes are
Like-
better than the truth.
Like what?
That's the
And
thing.
that's a problem.
That's a problem. That's a problem that the lies are better than the
Why
truth.
are we so big on lies?
Because
You feel
then
me?
that's why do you think media likes to manipulate shit? Why do you think, like, when it comes to, let's say, a Brock Turner or I think it was some girl who
To
lived
do
in
what?
Santee.
To
when
get
it comes
you
to Santee,
all riled up to do
when it
something.
comes to that girl who killed that homeless girl in Santee who killed that homeless man. You know what I mean? They paint them as angelic figures with the nice photo, whatever school photo, but when it comes to a black person who done something with the same magnitude, you automatically got mugshots.
Yeah,
and
he's
the
a
thing is,
thug.
like,
crazy.
as far as the media goes, every black person knows that what arguments they're gonna come up with.
And
you're gonna
then-
go you're gonna go and try to defamate the dead man's character. You're gonna go find ways to justify and say he was a thug anyway and his life didn't mean shit. You're gonna find a way to say, well, good riddance because he was just another thug in the streets. You're like, it doesn't matter. And then you guys gonna find a way to say, well, you know what I mean? The cops are just doing their job. They're cleaning up the streets. And it's like, we're tired of that fucking same narrative. And the thing is now, they can't really find too much shit on, you know, some of these victims who've been recently killed. And it's probably frustrating the fuck out of Fox News. Frustrating the hell out of CNN. And Don
Yep.
Lemon and Whoopi Goldbergs and the Raven Simones and the Stacey Dashes out there. These Uncle Tom people are like...
Damn, why did it gotta be Uncle Tom for speaking? See, that's the thing.
But the thing is-
we're constantly we talk about how we're down and everything. Like that's their. There's certain things. There are things that are open in their eyes. It's like, look, if they don't feel like doing that, then they don't feel like doing that. We can't look at them and say you suck, because then look at Snoop when he said something about the roots. Man, I ain't watching that bullshit. And then everybody else was like, well, they want us to forget slavery, but wait a minute, no, we can't forget. Which one is it, bruh? Which one is it? Is it freedom of speech or is it not? Is it this or is it that? What is it? We don't know. Why? Because we're here. Ups and downs, bro. Come on. When what's his name? What's old boy eat the booty dude? What's his name?
Kevin Gates?
Kevin Gates. Everybody was like, if you look at him, you would be like, nigga, yeah, you're trip. But this dude sat there and was like, you know, when he said whatever he said about, you know what I'm saying, the whole place, he's like, all lies, man. He's like, look, I should be the first one to be booked up. I should be the first one, but I conducted myself like, but everybody was like, oh, you're crazy. You're this, you're that. It's like, wait a minute. I thought it was freedom of speech, homie. What's up?
Yeah. Well,
Maybe there's
it's my
truth.
freedom of speech
Is
to
there,
say...
is there free...
It's my freedom of speech to say fuck him anyway.
Is there truth
because
to
that's
it?
how I feel.
If
You know
that's
what I
how
mean?
you feel. Right.
That's how
but
I feel
does that
because
still make it... You know,
it doesn't
'cause
make it
I
right.
could totally be like, you
It
know,
can make
what
it
I'm
right or it doesn't make it right or wrong, but that's how I feel.
Exactly.
And that's
And
how
you're
I feel.
entitled to that.
And I'm
You're
entitled.
entitled to
I
that.
guess they're entitled to their opinion. And from my standpoint, it's like, dude, yeah, you can. I'm like, dude, like we're the same. We deal with the same struggle because at the end of the fucking day, I don't give a fuck if Stacey Dash works for Fox News or whatever thing. Anything that can go wrong, they're gonna treat her like a nigga regardless. They're gonna treat Don Lemon like a nigga. They're gonna treat Raven Simone like a nigga. They're gonna treat Whoopi Goldberg's black ass as a nigga too. So that's why motherfuckers in the black community are pissed off, because it's like, nigga, don't you know once these white folks... Oh, yeah, and Wendy Williams is on there, too. Wendy Williams was on some fuck shit, too. But the thing is, it's like, we trying to... Even though we disagree with their opinion, we trying to let them know, as black people, these white folks will turn their back on you so fast it'll make your head spin. And then
what's
you're going to
crazy
come crying to us.
And you know what's
And
even
then you're going to
crazier
come
than
crying
that?
to us.
Black people will also turn their back on you. Like, that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing that we're getting each other to understand. It's like this world, if you are constantly thinking of self,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. You could be, because you have on a blue jacket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody's like, man, screw him. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn my back on you
They got
because
this
you have
flu-
on a blue jacket.
They got
Anybody,
this flu hoodie on.
you feel me?
stupid.
Oh,
You
you have on a hip hop shirt. I hate hip hop. I'm out of here.
Bye.
Oh, wait, I
Bye.
thought you was my fault. Oh, you're not, because I have on a hip hop. Are you serious? What?
Maybe I'm contradicting myself because I know
No,
that
well,
the
okay.
fact, because no, I'm calling myself out because I know, because like I said, like I'm into nerdy things, and I felt that I wasn't accepted within the black community.
Damn.
But at the time, you know, as I got older, you know, I just realized like, okay, I am me. But the thing is that the fact that I didn't find other people like me who felt the same way, and that's the thing. We have to find people who are kind of like us now. Like, you know, I could go back now. Like at the time, being a nerd wasn't cool. But now it's like the hot shit to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, back in the day, motherfuckers had their X-Men cards and shit, and they're like, hey, man, on the low. They'd be like on the low about it. But now, it's like, we're all up front now.
See, like,
And
I had a different experience though.
it's just different experience. Yeah, I
'cause
understand.
I had a skateboard and I was nerdy too, but like, I'm the type of person, I'm 100% honest with you and myself. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not rocking with me, you're not gonna rock with me. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing.
and I had friends that were black,
Mm-hmm.
they were white, they were Hispanic, and my black friends, they weren't into the same stuff I was into.
Yeah.
But they still was like, you know, you the homie,
my
man.
guy.
Like, you do your
Yeah.
things, man. That's you. You know, you be on the board, man. Break yourself, but
Yeah.
you know, you good with me. Let's go hoop. Like,
Yeah.
it just kept pushing like that. Like, I've seen that side of things where everybody's like,
We've seen it all.
Everybody
cool,
can accept
you
the
know?
differences. Some people that don't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just
And it
like
sucks.
it's
I
a
see-
big
yeah, I see the other
clusterfuck,
side
you know what I
too,
mean?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just,
And
it's
it
just a it's
sucks.
also just a big huge clusterfuck. What we were saying, because like I said, I'm only human. I know I'm gonna
We're
contradict
all
myself.
human, bro.
We're all
Yeah.
gonna contradict ourselves every single fucking day.
Nessa's
One
human.
moment we're gonna feel
What?
one way, and then we're gonna feel completely opposite.
Yeah.
One week you guys might hate my fucking guts. Next week
Oh, yeah.
y'all might love me. You know what I mean? It that's the thing, and I want that. You know what I mean? I like the fact when listeners tell me like, dude, I can't finish that episode because they struck a chord. Then good, I'm doing my job. or if
They gonna hate me after this, bro.
or hey, it is what it is.
and they
Which
gonna
is the
love you.
beautiful thing, because
Yeah.
I will continue to stand firm on this truth.
right.
It has nothing to do with. It has everything to do with the absolute truth. I mean, if you want to find out, then hey, what's up? Let's go.
But yeah,
I will
man.
show. I will walk with you. Like, and that's the thing. It's like we can walk through this. We can walk through this. You know, if anybody got questions, anybody got, hey man, you know, we can walk through this. Now, you know, at the end of this, you know, some people can go in one and out the other, and we can still stay, oh whatever. I'm just on
Stagnant.
whatever. But then there has to be something that's going, you know, touch your heart and say, you know what?
But do you believe that, you know, a person can be pro-black and still love others? Do you believe that can happen? Because you know
That's-
that
I think
old
that's-
saying.
I
Because
think
you know that
that's-
old saying, like in order to love somebody else, you have to love yourself. So, not like necessarily like being pro-black, but just love being black.
love
In this-
love yourself
yeah,
enough
love
to say
yourself.
that I'm not about to tolerate nothing.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's that. But if you're saying you're pro this,
Yeah.
then you're against that.
Is that what it means?
Because
I
you're giving
don't
yourself.
think I don't think that it means in that context because pro this means it could be a positive version of something else. Because if you were against war, why not be pro peace? If you're against hunger, be pro, you know, prosperity and fruitfulness and abundance. Be pro this instead of anti. Anti gives it a negative connotation already.
Yeah.
Pro gives it more of a positive. That's just my my
I think-
context.
But does
of
that give doesn't that give like a? You're kind of saying I'm about this, and I'm you know if I'm so about this, that, you know whatever else is a part of this is really it's kind of whatever. Okay, you're cool, but nah. You see how there's a
Yeah.
I'm about this, but or you know yeah I'm about this, and you're you know
Because-
but I mean you're cool.
I can
But-
say I love myself.
And that's
And-
just it.
and-
that ain't your pro,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
color.
yeah,
You're just
yeah.
you just love
Yeah.
yourself.
I mean, but what if that's just a way of saying that? Like, you know,
Like now,
That
you know
you
what I'm
love
saying? Like
yourself.
I love
Just
us,
saying that you're
man.
pro-black,
We have
right?
to learn how to love us. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people say like, well, how can Black Lives Matter if we're devaluing it every day in the streets in the ghetto by killing each other or gang banging and all that stuff. That's something that we within the black community have to check ourselves. And that's why we have to love ourselves to let people know, like, how can people going out on the outside, how can the Asians, the Mexicans, the other people take us seriously? Not saying that their opinion and their thoughts of us matter, but how can we make an overall better representation of ourselves that other people will have to give a damn about us because we value ourselves already. That's the thing right there. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, I don't know about, depending on black leaders. You know what I mean? We do need some leaders, but at the same time, you need to lead yourself. You need to be the general of your own life in order to make an example. Certain examples,
choices, and all that. Yeah. Which, how do you got to seek somebody that is 100% or that's going to really give you the truth.
Yeah.
That's where it all goes back to that, man. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel you. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people, when it comes to self-worth or whatever, like I said, like, you don't live for the next person. It's like automatically, I can't, if you say that I ain't nothing, I'm looking at you like, how? I am the best possible me, and it has nothing to do with this. I'm the best possible me that I could be. Why do you hate me? Is it because I wear my clothes this way? I mean, if you can get style too, you can. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with my skin color. I'm just good. I'm you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know I'm worth a lot. Why? Because I'm here.
Yeah.
If I wasn't worth anything, then I would have took myself
I think that's
out.
what we have to teach our black youth. We have to let them know that they're worth the damn. We have to let them know that despite what you see on the TV, the damn Love and Hip Hops and all the stereotypical world star shit, that their lives do have value. That there can be more than just dribbling basketballs and rapping 16s, which I have no problem with. But we do need more doctors. We do need more rocket scientists. We do need more innovators and entrepreneurs out there within the black community than just, entertainers. Even though I like entertaining, it's my passion. That's why I'm doing the podcast. But I do want to spark some kind of interest within my community to try something maybe a little different. Go on a little different path. Not everyone's meant for everything. And once you find the niche that works for you, or niche, or whatever the word, that works for you, go ahead and go 120 on it, as Eric Thomas would say, he's one of my favorite motivational speakers. But yeah, like, I mean, we could probably go on hours and hours on this.
Man.
And
you guys are the business, though. I'm glad y'all let me get on this microphone and say a little something.
Man. Shit, who knows, man? I might have a part 2. Maybe I might invite, Kim or Brisa or Ronald Clark or, I think this definitely deserves a part 2.
What would be dope? And I'll say this after. Like,
go ahead. Say it after.
I'm not giving it away anything.
But before we end the show,
before
we end the show, anyone else? I know anyone got something to say? Anything you want to say to provide closure or anything? Just anything you have to say from the heart. You know what I mean? Go ahead, take the floor.
I mean, like with me, to keep it real, I didn't watch any of the videos of anything that went on. And it's not that, sorry, I'm sick. That's why I sound like this. And it's not because, like, I choose to, turn my cheek or whatever the case may be. But I'm the type of person, like stuff like this, it's, like, real life happening. It's not the movies. Like, I have a weak stomach for it. My heart can't take it. My mind can't take it, and I will be fucked up, like, mentally, just thinking about that. Especially I work with kids, so it's like, it's a crazy thing. So, like, just hearing all this going on, and it was like back to back. I mean, it happens every day, but just how these two were like just so recently back to back, and just and then just put on everybody. It's on everybody's feed, on my groups, on my personal timeline, Instagram, whatever type of social media outlet, text message, everything. So I'm surrounded by it, and I still refuse to watch the videos, but and the reason why I say this is because the closest I got to that, and I'm probably the only person to ever say this, but I've never even watched Roots, believe it or not, you know. But the closest, but I remember, you know, one day I was with my girl Claudia, and she was like, "Oh, let's go watch what movie was that? Was it Fruitvale Station?"
Yeah.
And I heard about it, and I heard that like some guys even like cried at the movie theater. And I'm like, what? You know? So I didn't do my research. I just wanted to, let me check this out, because I knew if I did, you know, that I might not have watched it. So I'm like, okay, let me go and watch it. And I remember the feeling I felt after watching that movie. And I've never said this before, and I don't like the feeling that I felt. But at that moment, I hated, and I don't even use that H word. And I tell my kids not to say that. I don't use the H word, but I hated not necessarily white people, but white cops at that moment. And I remember that feeling was the worst feeling I've ever felt, because I've never felt that way about anybody, especially because of color. I have white family members. I have white friends. So, you know, it just sucks that I had to see that and feel that, and knowing it was based on a true story made it that much worse. And, you know, not only that, after that, you know, we went to go get some dessert somewhere. I just talked about the movie, and 2 white cops come in, and I'm just like, I don't know. The feeling that I had just looking at them was just, I don't ever want to feel that way again. So, you know, so now fast forward, going to see this, and just the fact that it was on Facebook Live, and just on video, you know, videotapes. Like I can't see it. And like I text the group earlier, and you know, I was talking to one of the girls, Deanna. Well, I wasn't talking to her, but she was talking to us in the group, and she was, you know, voicing her opinion on how she felt about the situation. And, you know, having, like, she said, in a hick part of town. She lives in Maryland, you know, and having to raise a black son who's 10 years old. Like, just the stuff she was saying, the passion in her voice. Like, I have no children. I mean, I watch children, but I don't have children of my own. But I could only imagine, like, the talks that you have to have with them. And it's just crazy that we live in this world. And regardless if, you know, like I'm the whole time I was listening, this is just a learning experience for me. Like I said, like you guys are talking about facts. I can't really speak on facts because again, I didn't watch none of the videos, you know, like I feel every single one of you guys, and, you know, your guys' points were pretty valid, but, yeah, I don't know.
It's one of those things where, you know, you know, you have to literally work that out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just like, dang, that's crazy how you watched the movie and then you were faced with it. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like literally right after.
Because we've all been in a situation where it's like, man, this, and I'm faced with it right now. And it's like, now what you going to do? It's like, oh, shoot.
Like even
Do
just
I
talking
really feel
about
this way,
that.
honestly?
Yeah.
Or was that just that moment?
And like for me, like if I'm feeling a certain way about something like that, and I see 2 white cops come in, first thing I say to myself is, you know, I don't know them. My anger is toward the specific person.
And that's the thing, is misplaced anger. People don't know where to take their aggression out. Like literally, bro, like I cried. I had tears coming down my eyes thinking about my brother, thinking about you guys, thinking about myself, thinking about my father, my mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was bawling thinking about this. Like, because, you know, how we joke and say, welcome to the place nothing is safe.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like
when
that
you step
shit is
outside,
literally.
it's real.
Yeah.
Nothing is really safe. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if you conflict or comply. If you obey or disobey, it just seems like whatever we try to do, we try to assimilate, we try to accommodate, and we still get killed. You know what I mean? And so it's like there's no clear-cut answer. People will say, well, why don't black people do this and do that? And I'm like, dude, we probably tried everything in the book.
And on top of that, it's not just us.
It's not just us.
We make our changes, but it has to be like
the changes from the other person.
Yeah, everybody.
It has to be
change.
a community
because
thing.
we can change all we want.
Yep.
But everybody will still, like, if they still see us the way they see us, regardless of what we do,
they're still going to see the way we see us as regardless. But in the mission is not to lose that standard that we need to uphold ourselves at all times.
Yeah, regardless.
We can't lose that vision of like, dude, we have to be on point with our shit. You know what I mean? People laugh at me when I'm driving and I make a complete stop at a stop sign. Like, nigga, why are you holding me? Because I am not giving these motherfuckers
No
any
ammo,
excuse to pull
nothing.
me over.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I do the same thing. You know what I do? I do it,
And I do it,
simply
and I kind of do that to antagonize the cops. I see a cop right there, and he was like, "Oh, watch this." Look at that complete stop
You
right
stupid
there.
as hell.
And I look both ways before I cross, motherfucker. Now
you
leave
wanna
me
know what's
alone.
Now you want to know what's crazy about that? Because they probably looking at you like, oh, he's a suspect. Like,
Hey, you know what?
Yep.
You know what?
Yeah.
like you making yourself a. You making yourself.
And they're
When I-
gonna be
when I
very,
was-
and they're gonna be very disappointed
feel it.
when they pull
Yo.
me over and they
Hey, I
don't
feel
find
it.
a gun, no
Yo.
weed, no
Yo.
nothing.
While you're saying this, dude, when I lived in Joliet, like I remember, I had a little trouble with the law, traffic or whatever. But I remember when I was legit, I was pulling into my parents' driveway, and there was a police officer sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
He knew my name. He was like, "You're Mark Price, huh?" I'm like, "Yep, that's me." He's like, "You're not supposed to be driving." I'm like, "Nope, I'm legit." So what's up? What's the conversation now? He just started laughing. He was
Yeah.
like, "That's good.
But
That's
see,
good."
that's the type. That's
He
the
didn't
type
get
of
out
vibe.
the car. He didn't want to
That's- it
like.
was
He
just
didn't want to
like-
fold me up.
But
None of
we
that.
need that type of vibe between amongst citizens, not just black people, citizens and cops. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because-
citizens and law enforcement. What happened to the good old days of, let's say, the Andy Griffin show? Hey, Bill, you're drunk. Let me
Oh,
take
we
you
gonna rest
home.
this TV, dog. No,
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. But anyway, we do
Nah,
have to
I'm
wrap this up. And any shout outs you want to say, Mark? Easy before we go ahead.
Shout outs to everybody that responded to my status on Facebook. It's real convicting stuff.
We're here to get people talking. I'm not saying
Yeah,
we're in
and-
a higher level than anybody. We're just people with opinions and some microphones and some headsets.
I mean,
That's
at
all.
the end of the day, I mean, there's honestly, there's no real like answers and stuff because we can say whatever. But at the end of the day, we just all gotta try to be open minded and get along. Because like when they say the world's gonna end, it's not on no crazy shit. It's more so on people against people.
Mankind.
I'm gonna
Like
just say a few
mankind,
words.
that's the
I'm gonna say a
real.
few words for y'all. I'm gonna say truth, self-evaluation. Damn, I had like a couple words because it's just words I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Just look it up, read what it means. Because throughout this episode, you hear truth that you don't like, you hear truth that you do like, and from what we were talking about, everyone needs to do some reevaluation.
All right.
Everyone needs some balance.
Mm-hmm.
Find some balance in your life. If you keep saying negative stuff, you should probably start paying attention to the positive stuff that's going on around you because it is there.
Laws of attraction.
Yeah. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm running the show. So if you're listening to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, go hit that subscribe. Leave a review, rating, comment. We do appreciate all of the feedback we got. Shout out to Courtney for snapping last episode and cracking up. We appreciate that. And to answer her question through Nessa, you can hit us up on Twitter at Jig Is Up Pod. You can leave a comment on the on SoundCloud. There's a little comment section right there. You can even go to the website at thejigisuppodcast.com and leave a comment on there as well. There's plenty of other avenues that you can go ahead and interact with us. Just go to the platform of your choosing. We always check it, or you can always, and the links and all that stuff will be in the description. So just in case, if you want to look in the description for a reference, you can go ahead and do that. And not just for Courtney, but that's for anyone else who's listening to the podcast who want to interact with us, because that is very key to grow the show and to make some improvements and adjustments for the listening pleasure of you guys.
Yeah, we're doing this for y'all.
And my shout outs is just for us learning how to deal with 400 years of captivity and still being alive and still thriving in this crazy country we call America. And on that note, if you listen to this podcast and shit, let me go back. If you enjoy listening to this podcast as much as we love making it, because we do what we love and love what we do. And if you're not being yourself, you know what I got to say.
The jig is up.
And we out.
Indeed.
Love you, Court.
Yeah.
Save the children, man. It's for the children.
Ow, fuck.
Love is the key.
Ow.
You hit your mouth.
Yeah, it's probably gonna get big right now. Oh, shit.
My legs are so finished. Yeah, that was dope, man. Thank y'all.
Good shit, y'all. I'm glad I didn't have to shed a tear like I did earlier today. I was crying at work. Little crybaby. Oh, fuck. I think my lip is about to get big right now.